Brett Cooper. This is what she looks like now in the vortex of right-wing content creation. She made a video called "Private Equity is Erasing the Cities We Love." How is this right-wing capitalist freak gonna make this fucking video? If this is anything other than anti-capitalist, what the fuck? What is the point of this? Well, who are you gonna blame this on? The wokes? The blue cities?
So people often ask me if I like living in Nashville. You know, the music and the culture and the people. And to be honest, you guys know we live on a farm. We live outside of Nashville proper. That is a very intentional choice by us. But these days I kind of struggle to answer the question because I don't really know what Nashville's identity is anymore. And truth be told, I don't even know if Nashville knows what its identity is.
I don't understand why Nashville needs a specific identity. I suppose Nashville is known for like music or something, right? But does it have to have a specific identity? Because cities are filled with like millions of people, so it's going to be a bit, different wherever you go.
Seems to be a growing trend for these rapidly growing cities in the Sunbelt region, like Denver or Dallas, Austin, Houston, all of those types of cities. Or maybe it's just a growing trend for Americans in general. Do we actually have a culture? Do we have unified values, or are we just getting steamrolled by mass migration and corporate interests?
Okay, I thought I might go to a migration thing. Mass migration and corporate trends. So blaming the immigrants for capitalism? Like, this is predatory capitalism that you're talking about if you're talking about private equity ruining cities.
Because I sit here in Nashville, in my own experience. I travel around to different cities where I'm doing shows or going on podcasts, or Alex and I are traveling.
I'm just some sort of butthurt right-winger.
Exactly, Mr. Whiskers. Oh, fuck. She hates East Nashville? I don't know anything about Nashville. It's gay in East Nashville? Hell yeah. Is that where the Pride Parades are held?
I'm just some sort of butthurt right-winger.
I just see all of these cities that I feel should be distinct become homogenous caricatures of themselves, where everything from the architecture to the businesses themselves have become what one author from New York Magazine wrote was, quote, an unbearable sameness. I mean, for example, Main Street USA is essentially gone unless you are visiting Disney World. And
or a small town. This is capitalism. This is the corporatization of everything. This is what leftists have been talking about. Making everyone chase a dollar for the maximal profit at all times, instead of being fulfilled with just having a good life. Like, you have poisoned your spaces. Like, this is literally a downstream effect of your worldview, Brett, and the one that you've glommed onto for money. It's absolutely tragic and inevitable. And leftists have been talking about this rot for hundreds of years now. Like, fucking 100 years more.
Who's to blame for this? Is it the, weirdo progressive mayors who oversee the
That's the progressives, of course. Yeah, it's the weirdo progressive mayors.
Demise of small business, even though they're, waving pride flags and trans flags? Is it the private equity firms? Maybe it's even our social media algorithms. Or maybe it's just the lack of unity in America to begin with. Now,
the lack of unity due to the divisive politics of the racist right wing. I can't believe it. I can't ever tell with her whether or not she's just a fucking idiot or if she's malevolent or both. I'm sure it's a mixture of both, but which one wins? Dumb or malevolence? She listed private equity as a cause, but surrounded that with, trans flags. How are the trans people who are not in charge of municipalities going to be the ones that are the perpetrators of the landlord special? You know what I mean? We hate what this is too. You should be a leftist, idiot. if you are a capitalist person and you're like, why is everything in shitified? It's the capitalism. It's the pursuit of a dollar rather than the quality of something. It's why you have your phone is getting forced into obsolescence. It's why your vehicles gets forced into obsolescence. They make shit to break, so that you have to repair it, so that you have to continue to enter a market, so they have to keep paying for something. That's why they want to rent and finance everything to you instead of letting you own it. That's why they don't let you own a catalog of your own favorite stuff to watch. You have to fucking jump around to which streaming service has it this month. You know? There's a reason.
Before we dive into this thing that has been taking over my mind, I want to thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for watching.
Yes, obviously, the good capitalism will save us. This isn't just a parasitic cast off of the effects of our worldview.
The videos and liking and subscribing. And
Yeah, like and subscribe immediately to actual Jake, who is the only Jake on the internet that is the actual one.
seriously, let
That's
me
right.
know in the comments below if what we are about
Nakey Jakey, I'm fucking onto you, buddy. I bet they don't even call you Jakey on your government ID.
to talk about is an experience that you are having in your own hometown, or if I am just crazy sitting here in Nashville. I'm very interested because it's something that's like coming up a lot in conversations with me. All right, so as you all might already know, like this is not new information, but I'm a very emotional person. But now that I am, postpartum and I'm a mom and I just like cry at everything, and the thing that has had me crying so much lately is the insane amount of local Nashville businesses that are shutting down and all of the heartfelt posts that the owners make when they announce their closure. I mean,
Oh, all the local small mom and pop businesses are being shut down in lieu of corporate-owned enterprises. Is it the woke trans kids doing this? Is it the immigrants? We couldn't possibly look at the equity firms and the capitalist overlords and the corporations. No, that are literally handling that business and causing that and like charging the rent to the mom and pop businesses and the energy and the fucking food costs and everything that they can't afford to price them out and then overtaking them. It couldn't fucking possibly be the literal mechanisms of capitalism that we all hate.
And it's like a gut punch to the heart. I'm just scrolling at 2 a.m., feeding the baby. And
I'm kind of glad you're crying about it, though. Like, literally.
it's like another Nashville institution started in 1991, started in 2002, shuttering their doors. They can't make it here anymore. The taxes are too high.
It's not just the taxes. It's everything. It's not just that. It's like the rent. It's literally the rent and the energy costs. And then because people aren't paid enough to live, they have to keep prices at a certain range so that people can pay for it. But that also means that they won't be able to afford the labor that they need to make the things because you won't raise wages. So, like, it just feeds on itself until it gets smaller and smaller. And then the corporations who have all the money are like, oh, I could fill that role. Here, instead of this nice bakery, you have a Panera Bread. Isn't it fine? And you're like, yeah, that is fine. I guess a Panera Bread is fine to eat sometimes. I sure do miss Sally's sandwiches that were, handmade. But at least I have a Panera Bread from time to time, which is nice, kind of. For in a Panera Bread sort of way. You can get the lemonade that kills you there.
Being pushed out. The owner of their building just sold it for $17 million, whatever it is. And it is just devastating.
$17 million to who?
Because piece by piece, I'm watching.
Tennessee doesn't even have state income tax. Probably not. But I mean, like, business is different, though. It's not just income. It's like, just to run it.
What was once such a distinct and lively and rich, unique city become a blob. And a lot of this does have to do with policy, because in Davidson County, which is the county that Nashville is in, it's like Nashville proper, the commercial property tax has had a historic 45% median tax increase. That's just the median. Some properties have seen a 60, 70%. Like one of the biggest restaurants, like event centers down on Broadway, which is like our main big drag in Nashville, their property taxes increased from, I think it was $120,000 a year to $600,000 a year. Effectively, because now they have to pay that, it made their business not profitable.
This could be true, but it would still be capitalism feasting on itself. This is the system in place doing it on purpose. You live in a red state. I don't think a 45% increase makes it 600,000 from 120 or whatever. That seems like bad math. But let's just steel man it and say the property taxes are high. Why are the property taxes that high on a fucking a business in downtown Nashville? It's because the property rates have been appraised at higher rates, probably based on third-party corporate eyeballs. And they have said that to price out these spaces so that they can go in and buy the real estate and then put businesses there in place. This is how the game is played. They will lobby or install their own Congress people or, county officials. They'll pay them. They'll give them bribes. And they'll be like, hey, I need this property. I need you to raise the rates on this. And then when we come in, you can lower them again and then you'll get reelected. You know what I mean? Like, this literally happens all the time. The game is not rigged in favor of small businesses because we are a capitalist-only country. So when you value money accumulation more than you value someone's effort and heart, because you know that Sally's Sandwich Shop is better and just like, you know, more wholesome and community oriented, and that has that unique spark than a fucking Panera Bread. You know it to be true. I don't want Panera Breads on every fucking corner. I am fine if they are in a market too, but it is so skewed towards them that, I mean, your corporate little corrupt game has eaten itself. It just continues to. And even these corporations are having a hard time because, you know, even if they lower the taxes, now you don't have anyone there that can afford anything, like we said before, and they're still losing money. And they're just trying to fucking feed on themselves. They're like, well, if I have this real estate and just sit on it, it'll appreciate in value or whatever. Like, no, this is stupid. Just now you have empty main streets where these things have been cored out and they're just husks.
And that is a wildly popular restaurant on the most populated street in all of Nashville, where all of the tourists are, and they still can't keep up. So think about all of the small mom and pop restaurants, the meat and threes, all of those. I mean, this has decimated long-standing business after business. And so obviously what is coming in to replace all of this now empty real estate? Well,
the only people that can afford it. Yeah. Oh yeah. This is totally socialism's fault. So under socialism, there would be no way for corporations to be able to price people out of the space. It would be that place is popular based on the community's desire to have it there, and so it will stay open. It would just be so much easier, and not even like under like fucking actual full-on socialism, like literally just socializing survival necessities for human beings allows these spaces, these third places, to still operate fully in markets. I'm fine if we, you know, pay for someone providing a service like food prep. I just don't think that you need to also say that, hey, your survival is staked on this business. And also all the employees, your survival is staked on the wage you make. But when you do that, all the prices get fucking smushed together, and already restaurants have a hard time because of the way food works. Like, we expect it to be available for an affordable price, and it ought to be.
Things like Aloe Yoga and Sweet Green, private equity-owned specialty matcha shops, LA-based acai stores, all of the usual suspects. But now, obviously, Nashville is growing, and I am not a Nashville native. I'm basically a Tennessee native, but I did migrate here as well, so I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, these Californians. Like, yes, I did move from Los Angeles, which I moved to from Tennessee, but I did move from Los Angeles. But anyway, like, growing is natural. Growing will happen. There will be growing pains in any city, but as Nashville has grown and expanded, it seems like it has very obviously lost touch with what made Nashville Nashville. Like, the heart and soul of Music City is now just a caricature of itself that is oriented towards, you know, tourists and bachelorette parties. But the thing that's so sad is that people that are coming in to experience Nashville aren't even getting a true Nashville experience. They're getting the experience that they could get in basically any other Sun Belt city. Like, for example, take an area of Nashville. This is called 12 South. Now I'm really getting into the nitty gritty here, but this is something that I need to rant about, and you are going to sit here to listen. So
why is this 22 minutes long? It doesn't seem like this needs to be. Is this actually broken up, or is she really on this one topic for 22 minutes? Does she have other information to give? I hope so.
Just imagine that you are a Nashville resident and there is a street called 12 South. It's a small street in Nashville, and it used to be a pretty rough part of town, but in the last 2-3 decades, it became a very like thriving part of town. It had local watering holes and boutiques, like one little coffee shop, a quaint church. There was like a local farmer's market in the park nearby. People would play pickleball. There was a really, really cute
pickleball. Yeah, classic. This is gentrified as hell.
Around like all of the nice things. And when I first moved,
all of the nice things. Pickleball amongst them, of course. That's the gay area? Hell yeah. You used to like the gay woke area? Oh no.
Here, literally, like, this all changed in 4 years. So when I moved here 4 years ago, like, it was the place where I would go walk the dogs after work. When I knew nobody in this city, it was a safe place to go. It was quiet. It was sweet. When Alex and I started dating, it was where we would go to grab a nice dinner at, like, one of the longest standing restaurants in Nashville. Urban Grub, by the way, you should go if you're ever in town. We would get soft serve at a place called Frice Cream. We would just, like, walk around and appreciate how sweet this city was. Now, if you are in 12 South at any time that is not 11 a.m. on a Wednesday, it is literally literally like you are playing real life Temple Run. You're jumping over stuff, you're dodging expensive $200 Viore leggings, you're dodging the expensive rag and bow jeans and the Reformation dresses and Lululemon, which is now getting looted by thugs. The parking is insane. They're putting in underground parking garages, and like, God forbid you try to go to 12 South on a Sunday morning. That actually is where Alex and I used to go to church, and we finally just called it because we just could not handle it anymore.
Dude, I love that her worldview is killing her enjoyment of the world. This is, yeah, not to fucking bang the drum again, but this is all just capitalism doing its thing. It's taking what was a quaint space and it's corporatizing it, and it's saying, oh, what if we put another fucking lane of traffic? What if we had more parking? What if we just congest the shit out of this so we can maximize our profit out of here while it's hot? It's a hot place right now. Put your business in the hot place. And it doesn't necessarily fit the space, but you know, the landlord hasn't been able to fucking sell this room in the strip mall for a while. There is a certain sweetness to this bitter tea that I like to witness as right-wingers are like, wait. This is the effect of my cultural opinion? Yes. You are doomed to live like this forever in increasingly in shitified environments. You will get ads on your phone. You're going to get ads in your fucking glasses. You're going to get ads in the screen they force to have on your self-driving electric car. You're going to get ads on the street when you're waiting to cross it. Oh, yeah. And you're going to buy and consume, Brett Cooper. Buy and consume. It'll be the only thing you can do. What do you do when you go out to hang out with your friends? Is there anything you go do that is free? Very rarely. That's why D&D is such a big hobby right now, I think, because you can just go to someone's house, take a dish, and party, dude. You can, you don't have to do it it's pretty much free. For snacks, for the price of snacks. The ads everywhere and everything is brain cancer. It super is, and this is what she wants. Until it's in her own fucking community. Wouldn't you know it?
Because you show up and you're just surrounded by tourists with huge things of luggage that are standing in line trying to get their hands on a buttermilk ranch biscuit before they catch their flight out of town. And I know it's like, Brett, you sound like a curmudgeon-y local, but this really isn't about a dislike of tourism or growth of a city. It's the type of growth that's taken over that's...
Oh no, the type of growth. Dude, if only they were walkable, well thought out, community-oriented instead of capitalist-oriented community centers. With like greenery and beautiful walking spaces and community gardens and little mom and pop shops that weren't priced out and community housing so everyone who lived there could work there too. Parks and places for recreation that weren't about organizing capitalism and like shopping centers. It was more about organizing just like people and like how they like to socialize. You know, maybe there's some water features or a place to walk and catch some shade or read a book. You know, nothing that we have to charge for, but something that we can enjoy. Nah, you can even have your stupid fucking church somewhere in there. I don't give a fuck. If that's what your community wants, I don't care. My atheist ass will walk right past.
Just so gross and inauthentic and completely corporate fueled. And the businesses and developments that have taken...
I'm sad she cried off camera.
...over some of Nashville's most popular areas are these cookie-cutter private equity plans that have been plucked from cities like Austin and Denver, and they're just being brought...
Yeah, Austin, Denver. No, I can't believe they're investing in my city. But I wanted that. If I tax the billionaires, they'll leave. But if I don't tax the billionaires, they'll stay. What do we do? I have a third option.
Here. And it's even bigger than that. I feel like Nashville used to have more local amazing restaurants, and now we're just getting, secondhand restaurants from Los Angeles and Chicago and New York. Like every time I get on my like Nashville Guru Instagram page and it's like new restaurant alert and it's like hailed from Chicago is the second location. I'm like, I don't want another restaurant from Chicago. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's fine. But can't we do something ourselves? Can't we start? And then it gets so frustrating because it's like, well, we used to be able to, but now locals can't afford to do that. It's too expensive to start something from scratch.
Oh no, it's too expensive? The expense is too high? Why is that? And you can't fucking tell me it's just property taxes. The rent is too fucking high. You don't have to always, like, you don't always own the fucking building that you're at. The rent is too high because the landlords have too much control over the market, and because cost of living is too high in general because we put everything in a market. Housing is on a fucking market, which is unethical. So if you do that, it's going to rise the price of everything. Like, it's got to be more expensive than a place to live, right? Otherwise, people will be moving into corporate places and, like, lying about it, right? They'll be like, oh, fucking live in a corporate space. Yeah. Cheap rent, only fucking $3,000 a month for this block with fucking drop ceilings. Come on. People can't afford to pay their own rent. They're not going to be able to afford to go to your stupid fucking, like, Lululemon or whatever. And then, you know, that's going to fail too. And you're just, like, this cycle is going to continue. The next dead mall is Main Street. Just saying. I'm right.
Everything that's opening is coming from outside the city. And the point that I'm really trying to get at here is that it's not just Nashville, it's happening everywhere. Like the same private equity firm that developed South Congress Avenue in Austin, bringing like all the high-end shopping.
Yeah, I agree. We need to move past tipping culture, and the onus needs to be on the business owners, which will drive costs of food up, but it doesn't matter if we're all making higher wages. In general, restaurant wages being insured will go right along with higher protections for minimum wage, which cuts into corporate power, which is good because the corporations can afford it. It's obvious. Like, they're just hoarding wealth. And not only that, no one should be able to be a billionaire. If you have over $1 billion of personal wealth in any regard, whether it's liquid or not, I don't care. Everything else is sent to the community. You don't need more. That's it. You won. You won capitalism, dude. Take it off. Take the day off. Take the year off. Take forever off. You're done. That's the cap.
The $12 smoothies, they bought up all the real estate in 12 South and they dropped in the identical stores. I mean, the architecture looks exactly the same. The stores are placed on the same block. It's like you got Reformation, Sun Life Organics, Lululemon, all within 20 feet, just like it is in Austin. So now whether you are in Nashville or Austin or Denver or Dallas or Houston, when you pop into one of the city's like trendy neighborhoods, you're looking for a quaint place to walk around, looking for the local flavor, you will literally find a Postino tapas restaurant, a La La Land coffee with their yellow heart-shaped straws where girls stand in line for hours trying to take an Instagram photo, a Sun Life organic shop where you can get a $25 acai bowl, and of course, a Lululemon. Now, this has become such a constant, like a literal meme on social media, that it became a trend to use the location of a Lululemon to find the most recently developed nice parts of a city.
Yeah, so this is gentrification. This is a leftist scree right now that she doesn't know she's saying. Leftists have been talking about this for years and years and years, and just social organizers in general. Yeah, it's bad.
Just watch.
I travel quite a lot for work, and every time I visit a new city, I have a foolproof way of finding where the nice neighborhood is. It's called the Lululemon strategy.
The nice neighborhood.
Every time
By the way, this is just racism.
I go to a new city, I look up Lululemons in the area on Google Maps and use a process of elimination to find the neighborhood with great walkability and $10 matcha. I'm using Montreal as an example because I'm going there at the end of the month. And as you can see here, this Lululemon is in a mall, so I'm going to eliminate that from my search results. What we're looking for are those storefront Lululemons, and that's where you're going to find the bars, restaurants, and a
But so you're complaining about this, but he's celebrating this. Like, you realize that, right? Did you just add this because you need to pad this time for some reason?
bakery dedicated to
You should hate this guy, but you're like, yeah.
fucking Brookies. Now, if none of the Lululemons meet the criteria, then I have a backup, and it's called the Whole Foods method. So I'm going to New Orleans the week after Montreal, and boom, we know that Magazine Street is going to be a nice place to walk around and hang out.
I mean, it's so perfect, and
The racist locals are like, Magazine Street's overrun with criminals, by the way.
so true. But the thing is, like, the point that I'm trying to get at as I'm laying all of this out is that is not culture.
They'll steal your car.
That is not unique. That is homogeny. And it has taken over our entire country. And it does feel so ironic to talk about a homogenous American culture because we've actually talked a lot about losing that thanks to mass immigration and feeling like our culture is being torn apart. We don't even
Interesting. I feel like my culture of homogeneity is being torn apart. White people. But also, I feel like my homogeneity is too much. White corporate people. Uh-oh. So you hate yourself, but you also hate everybody else. I suppose what you could do is just walk into the sea. Huh? Not deal with culture at all anymore? See how maybe see how the whales are doing?
Even know what it means or looks like to be an American anymore, but this homogeny is not based on a country's shared social fabric. It's just pre-planned corporate sameness. Again,
Social fabric, you racist son of a bitch.
that is not culture, that is corporatism. And we are terrible as Americans. We are terrible at preserving our culture and protecting our small cities and uplifting small businesses. And so now,
Because of capitalism. We call it corporatism. They can never be like, they're like, this is the bad kind of capitalism, not the good kind. It's crony capitalism. It's corporatism. No, dude, it's just the natural evolution of how this system is going to go. You say, the best thing to do is to accumulate dollar bills. They're going to go do that however they can. And now you've set a game in motion in which you have to, like, keep making weird rules. It's like adding a fourth option to rock, paper, scissors and then spiraling out from there. And now you have a complex game of rock, paper, scissors where who gets the dollar at the end. It really is stupid. America has no culture without people of color. True.
the alternative has taken over at rapid speed. Now, in addition to me being inspired by my late...
The only culture that white people tend to have is their reaction to people of color.
night scrolls and tearing up over my favorite Nashville steakhouse closing, RIP Pelican Pig. If you know, you know, so good. I literally cried over your goodbye post, but I was really inspired to...
I'm really sad that this is all off camera, though. I like watching right-wingers cry, for whatever reason.
Do this episode because of a 2018 article from New York Magazine called The Unbearable Sameness of Cities. And after one particularly sad doom scroll seeing all of these restaurants close, I ended up doing some Googling, finding some solace on Google and TikTok, and I found this article. While it was sad to see that, yes, this is a trend and it's been written about for almost a decade now, it did reassure me that I was not crazy. So in this, the
Pelican Pig isn't closed? Are you sure? Pelican Pig. Permanently closed.
author wrote, I was in a non-chain coffee shop in Columbia, South Carolina. I was on a mission to the cities and towns closest to the geographic center of each state, and this was only stop 6 of 50. But I remembered seeing the same lights in coffee shops in Bend and Oregon, and in innumerable others I had frequented while living in New York and the Chicago area.
Closest to the geographic... So, did Oriana Schwint go to St. Louis, Michigan, and get some food at their little tiny Main Street? I wonder if it was good. She moved to Nashville 4 years ago in August 2022, acting like she's been there for decades. You're right.
This one small observation to open up the floodgates. I noticed the same kind of person was behind the counter, young, tattooed, and bespectacled. The same kind of patrons, young and tattooed and bespectacled, clicking away on...
Bespectacled? Not bespectacled. Bespectacled. They're not cat people. They have glasses on. Young, tattooed, and bespectacled. You cannot have corrective eye vision, be young, and have tattoos.
MacBooks, full disclosure, your correspondent is young and tattooed and bespectacled, clicking away on a MacBook. The Wi-Fi passwords were all some cutesy variation on coffee culture. Java, exclamation point. The great Bambino, that sort of thing. I couldn't stop noticing. I'd go on to see the same in Colorado Springs, in Fresno, in Indianapolis, in Oklahoma City, in Nashville. Ah, that's how I feel. And it wasn't just the coffee shops. The bars, the restaurants, even the architecture of all the new housing going up in these cities looked and felt eerily similar. Now, in this article, the author goes on, he has a couple of theories. Number one, that millennials broke out of their small town.
Oriana? Okay, I guess I could buy that. The article came across as a lady.
Towns, they moved to New York and Chicago and LA, and then they came back home years later to settle down in, the Sun Belt states, the Tennessees, the, Texas cities, and they brought the same trends back with them. He also theorizes that it is social media, which he writes about here. Perhaps it is inevitable, this sameness, when you are taking a broad view of...
Am I stupid? The unbearable sameness of cities. Yes, this is a lady. The luxury of loving bad men. Oh. She wants gentrification, but without the addition of accepting queer and alternative people, and just people of different races, I suppose.
The country in which nearly 326 million people are strewn across 3.8 million square miles. A country which is connected by the light speed of the internet, and hundreds of millions of people looking at Instagram photos of bistros in Nashville and Los Angeles and in Brooklyn going, quote, I want that. Now, to further this whole conversation in 2016, an author by the name of Kyle Chaka, he wrote about this social media-induced homogeny theory, calling it the airspace. And a few years after he wrote this article, he even transformed it into an entire book. But in his original 2016 article, he said this: we could call this strange geography created by technology airspace. It's the realm of coffee shops, bars, startup offices, and co-live workspaces that all share the same hallmarks everywhere you go. A profusion of symbols of comfort and quality, at least to a certain connoisseurial mindset. Minimalist furniture, craft beer and avocado toast, reclaimed wood, industrial lighting, cortados, fast internet. Yet airspace now is less theory than reality. The interchangeability, the ceaseless movement, and a symbolic blankness that was once the hallmark of hotels and airports, qualities that led a French anthropologist to define them in 1992 as non-places, has leaked into the rest of life. Isn't that so depressing?
This entire segment is an indictment of her worldview, and she's better at reading than any of the other right-wingers we watch, like clearly more literate than Jeremy, but is she synthesizing the words she's reading, or is she just capable of pronouncing them phonetically with her mouth? Is she reading these words? This is like literally what your end goal is. Homogeneity. You do not want uniqueness. When you see it, you fear it. When it's offered, you go, no! It's like if all of these coffee shops were like horse girl aesthetic, you wouldn't even notice instead. But you're like, well, this is sort of a industrial sort of not really me thing. Bespeckled.
That what was once a non-place, something that was so stark that, caused anthropologists to label it as such, is now just our day-to-day life. Anyway, the author goes on and says, as an affluent and self-selecting group of people move through spaces linked by technology, particular sensibilities spread, and these small pockets of geography grow to resemble one another. The coffee roaster 4 Barrel in San Francisco looks like the Australian Toby's Estate in Brooklyn, looks like the Coffee Collective in Copenhagen, looks like the Bear Pod Espresso in Tokyo. You can get a dry cortado with perfect latte art at any of them, then Instagram it on a marble countertop and further spread the aesthetic to all of your followers.
Yeah, are you reading this? The corporation, Facebook, Instagram, Meta, making it, like, if you can get the algorithmic momentum behind the thing, you can start making money on this, because the economy that we are in is organized as such that, and you must agree as a content creator that there are certain things that if you say them, you will start to go viral, and that can be good for your bottom line. And if you do them and you perform these certain acts, like with fucking coffee art, with certain aesthetics, with certain business models, especially if they fucking use ChatGPT and shit to organize these things nowadays. Like, you're going to get a lot of the sameness because that's what you are incentivizing with your bad system. There isn't room for someone to take a risk and be like, I'm going to make this really specific kind of restaurant that just speaks to my heart, and they can stay open as long as they can make ends meet. Instead, it's like you have to be really successful to have a restaurant. You can't just make ends meet. You can't, it's really hard to just get by as a restaurant without being busy as fuck.
Now, in both of these articles, they were focusing on specifically how business and architecture felt the same. Similar lighting, similar products, that sort of thing. But now,
Well, and also coffee uses slave labor in a lot of ways, so it's a cheap overhead thing downstream that you can pay minimum wage people to make good versions of. That's why food is like that too.
Changed, in my opinion, in the last 10 years or so, is that thanks to these huge developments, thanks to private equity, thanks to squeezing out local institutions in cities like Austin and Nashville, everything is the same. But you know what? One thing that did make me happy is that Mudwater is not the same, because it is totally different than any—
Oh my fucking god. I'm here for the fucking ad, dude. Is this another fucking ad? This 2 ads in a row? How can you even fucking... So the reason this is 22 minutes long is because we had to do 2 ad reads for it. Well, 3 ad reads, because that was a back-to-back. She actively participates in the problem she's seeing. Which, by the way, I mean, can we talk about like the sameness, the lack of the lack of fucking vibe, the nonsense is going. Like, look at the background here. This is not like, oh, I believe Brett Cooper is just really so into this. She's a plant. She's an industry plant.
Thing is literally the same, not just feeling the same. In
I do love her SpongeBob font logo on the bottom right, though. Brett Cooper.
many cases, it's literally the same private equity firm. One firm called Turnbridge Equities, who was literally replicating the exact same walkable luxury shopping area in every single city. They are.
So you add the word walkable there, and now it's like you're trying to describe the thing that leftists are talking about, which isn't the same. When they say walkable, they mean you can walk from business to business. When we say walkable, we mean a place that you can actually live and walk and enjoy that isn't all focused on turning over your dollar. It isn't a place for visitors to arrive to necessarily, although it would accommodate visitors to the community. Like they had a particularly good restaurant in it or whatever, just like normal. But it would be a place where the community itself would thrive. Like, for instance, in my community, which is, residential on the very edge of like semi-commercial stuff. There's big lots around here that are church space, which is a waste of everyone's time, effort, and humanity, any church at all, but very large church spaces that when I drive by are 100% empty almost all the time, 95% of the year or more, because churches are pointless. And so we could turn that into a park space. We could have food trucks there where you could spend money. We could have like, actual activities there that are centered on the center of the community with a lot of people's houses. Like, look at that. You could have events there locally. You could have, so many things could happen there. Instead, it's just a big grassy lot where nothing happens, and it's the church has it. It had no parking lot. It would just be walkable, right? You would just go and walk there if you want to. It wouldn't be a place you drive up to because it's in the center of a residential area already. It would be something for everybody here that isn't focused on just having capital move through it because, the point of a community center is not that the community now has to spend $1 there every fucking time they go or more. If everyone who comes through here spends $10, we can keep it up. But no.
The ones who developed South Congress, they are the ones who developed in Houston. They're the ones who are developing this Ashwood development on 12 South. And I guess my first thought is like, why is our Nashville government prioritizing and protecting this? Like, if the goal is growth and encouraging this tourist economy that has helped our city boom, that makes people excited about Nashville, then why would we want to have the exact same development, literally a carbon copy that has been copied and pasted in 10 other cities, dropped in your quaint local fair neighborhoods that used to attract people, both locals and tourists, because they felt something.
Because it will make them money. They find it profitable. It's a soulless endeavor that has no care for aesthetic, Brett. It doesn't matter what the vibe is. It will make them money, you fool. You like this.
They felt like Nashville. They felt like Denver. They felt like Austin. Why would you just want to throw that out? And also, I have to ask, why does it seem like so few people care as we lose all of this? Now, I think what this says is that we have been so conditioned to find comfort in this sameness, and corporations built.
Oh, really? You have been conditioned to find comfort in sameness. Could this apply to any other part of your fucking worldview, dude? Huh? Do we think that maybe this has some runoff anywhere downstream of your thoughts?
A machine to profit off of that comfort, and now these corporations have used what we engaged with on social media and what is trending and what is cool to amplify that profit even more, so we are all just wandering through the same real-life algorithm, interacting with the same businesses, the same trends on a daily basis, and oh my god, it is just nauseating. Like, take the
Nauseating. Yeah. 20 minutes of complaining with no effort to present a solution, of course. Well, that's what I'm here for.
coffee shop La La Land, for example. If you live in Nashville, you live in a city with La La Land, you know the hold that those yellow drinks have over people. Like, what started out as a single store in Dallas, Texas, it rapidly grew to, I think, 20 locations in 6 years. It had a massive influx in cash. I think it was like $60 million poured into it through a private equity firm. It blew up on TikTok, and now it is in all of these cities in these select developments. And you might be asking, like, Brett, are they innovating coffee in any way? Is it like so spectacular? Is it great? No, it's a rounded cup. The straw is yellow. It has like a heart on it, and at some of the locations, the baristas say "love you" when they hand you the coffee.
Yeah, get TikTok influenced. Like, I'm fine if your gimmick works or whatever, but I mean, that's what it is. It's just like, you know, they have an aesthetic. and it laboo-booifies on the internet, and then it takes off. You are guilty of creating this space along with all the other people that you take money from. Hilarious. It is very sweet to me, even though we have to live in it too, and it's bad, that she fucking hates it.
It's like the Trader Joe's, I guess, of coffee shops. And because of that, instead of supporting small, family-run local coffee shops, women will literally stand in hours for days or months on end after a La La Land opens in their area to get an Instagram picture with the iconic yellow heart. Like, it is just so crazy. And what is so ironic to me, and I don't really want to, like, bring politics into it, but it is always the most obnoxious, eat-the-rich liberal women who eat up this stuff. Like, they are playing right into the hands of these large corporations that they claim to hate. It's also the same types of people who elected Nashville's weirdo mayor, Freddie O'Connell, who literally said in an interview recently that it's not his problem if businesses can't make it here. Buddy, I kind of think it is your problem.
Well, maybe. I don't know. Like, how much can the mayor do to stop the coming tide of corporate capitalism on his small town? I don't know. Like, damn, should have supported the socialists. Nah.
The mayor. You should be trying to support these local businesses and support our local economy rather than letting your city be
The best way to do that would be to raise the wages of the people who are going to patronize these businesses, but you won't.
taken over by private equity firms.
Who's gonna buy the shit?
Who want to make Nashville look like Denver and Austin and every other Sunbelt city in America. Like, Freddie, what are you actually focusing on? Trying to get a train in Nashville? It's always about the trains with these people. Like, maybe focus on the small businesses first. And
the trains? Well, the train would help. The trains in general would be good. Why are you against trains? Because it's woke to not want an automobile or something.
Again, this doesn't even feel like
She uses Amazon and goes to Walmart, et cetera, I'm sure. Oh, yeah.
a transitional phase or like natural growing pains as the city gets a lot more residents. It's literally a corporate takeover. And it's sad because in so many other areas of the world, it seems like they care more about protecting their cultural fabric and the identities of their countries. Like in Paris, I feel
cultural fabric. Well, though, in Paris, in France, the French, the Italians, they make anti-capitalist decisions on certain enterprises. Like, they're not allowing just anyone to make all sorts of fucking cheese or breads or whatever, certain dishes. Like, they're kind of particular about it. You would just prevent other people from capitalizing on the same thing. Unlike America, where it's, you know, anyone can make their version of Fritos and try to sell it.
like when I travel there, the side streets still have the same bakeries that they've had for 100 years. When I lived in Budapest, yes, there was a McDonald's, yes, there was the Starbucks, but for the most part, it felt authentic. Not much had actually changed.
Well, yeah, we're in the empirical core. Like, this is the center of the empire, and it's going to take time to export, like, our version of homogeneity to fucking Budapest.
They were actively working to preserve their culture. They were actually trying to undo the Soviet influence to bring back true Hungarian culture. They also don't let many people immigrate there, which probably helps. I mean,
Okay, but the reason that people are immigrating here is because we are destabilizing the places that they live. So you would have to stop that enterprise as well. But you refuse. You think it's good that we do this because we profit. It just keeps feeding back into the sickened, twisted heart of American capitalism and how it must consume.
Tokyo, they have entire neighborhoods that are built around this concept of having pedestrian shopping streets that are just exclusively small, locally owned businesses. In Japan, actually, I just learned this when I was putting this episode together.
You have to legislate that. You have to be anti-capitalist to do that. Anti-corporate. Corporations would fight that. By the way, if you said, okay, main streets, no corporations. No corporations on main streets. Line would not go up. Line go uppers would be very upset.
They passed a large stores law, which requires government approval and community input before a large retailer could even open, which honestly probably never work in America because of corporate lobbying.
Yeah. See? It would never work in America!
But it's nice that they can make that happen.
Please. Crying on fucking Instagram. Please! Don't shut down the Piggly Wiggly or whatever the fuck. No! My favorite barbecue place. Well, yeah.
think France did the same thing. They passed laws specifically designed to prevent large retailers from using financial leverage to push out smaller competitors because they want to protect what makes France great and protect those small French businesses.
That's anti-capitalist legislation, my dude.
And so while obviously there is a political side of this, there are policies at work that are helping protect those businesses.
It's not just political. It's economics. I mean, I guess you can call it political. It's like, but it's not just like the politicians. It's the economic forces at play that you have allowed.
I personally don't necessarily think that government intervention is the only solution or the reason why many other places in the world have been able to.
What would be the solution other than government intervention here? Corporations, stop making ultimate profits. And they're going to be like, okay, I guess we'll stop our bloodthirsty seeking of infinite profit to be nice. You have to legislate it. There's no other way. All those countries she listed have free healthcare. True.
Protect their culture. I mean, number one, a lot of these places, these countries are smaller. They're like the size of Texas or even smaller. They've had less mass migration. They are not the melting pot. And number two, they actually care.
They've not had less mass migration. Paris, Budapest, Tokyo? No, they fucking haven't. Stop. There's millions of immigrants in all of those places.
About their cultural identities, and they take pride in it.
Like literally Paris. Oh my God. Paris has forever, like since its founding, Rome too. Like all of these places have been cultural gatherings. People go there. Super dumb.
Actually say that is probably the most important distinction. Like for Americans, I mean, we've experienced this over the last decade, but half of the country thinks that Americans and white people have no culture. And
over the last decade, wouldn't you know it? That's just exactly all of the Trump years. Whoa, I can't believe it. As we descend further into his vision of this corporatized oligarchical system, you're like, I don't like it.
If we do have a culture, it is something to be mocked and ashamed of. Like they see us as being these awful, oppressive colonizers. They see us as being greedy and consumeristic. But
you are.
They literally feed into those very things as they take over what remaining culture we do have.
Because it's true, Brett. Because it's true. It's just true. They're not stereotypes. They're real.
So it is just like this depressing, never-ending cycle. And then why would they care about that if they don't believe that we have any unique cultural identity to begin with?
Brett, stop being a capitalist. Stop being a cuck for these people. This bothers you. There's a solution.
It is just such a depressing cycle of...
Yeah, I agree. It just is depressing. Yes, the only thing that ends is depression here. The end goal of this is literally an economic and psychic depression.
Sad. Like, I did not intend for this episode to become some kind of, like, depressing black pill moment. It's just something that I have been thinking about constantly as I watch the city around me change. And I wish that I could, like, wave a wand and become some amazing, like, urban city planner that would upend and fix all of America's great cities and revive small town America. Like, I would absolutely love that. Unfortunately, that is not possible. I mean, it's just so depressing when you drive through American small towns and it's just like a Dollar General and nothing going on there.
A Dollar General! I know! Yeah! Yes! Oh my fucking God, dude. Capitalist when capitalism capitalizes.
I mean, it's just so awful. I should do an entire episode about Dollar General and how they are scamming small towns in America.
Yeah. Or you could watch, like, More Perfect Union. I think they did a documentary on that or something. You know, you could watch leftist sources. Yeah, it's bad. Dollar General's bad. Do it. I don't care. Continue down this road of questioning why capitalism is making me unhappy.
If I can't magically wave my wand and fix everything, the best...
Should we regulate them? No! That's bad.
Thing I can do, and the best thing I think you can do as well, is have, you know, your running list of local places where you choose to spend your money and seeking out local flavor whenever you are traveling and going to a new city. And I know that that feels small, but emotionally, it just feels so much better. You know, the phrase, like, shop local, it always felt like some, you know, cliche that you would see on a super...
Leftists, by the way. Leftists say shop local. We go to farmers markets. We shop at little shops. We support small community businesses. Oh my God. We're coming around. Most lefties in cities shop local. Almost all of them. And a lot of us have jobs in these places where we have like community farms, or we're working a little fucking coffee shop, or we, have a bookstore thing going on. Like,
Bruised bumper sticker or in a tote bag that you'd be given for free at a farmer's market. But these days, it doesn't really feel like a cliche. It feels more like a desperate necessity.
I agree. But not really. Brett Cooper just does not fucking understand it. She's so close to getting it, but obviously not at the same time. If you're a capitalist, you don't have to be this way. There's no reason that you have to think better things aren't possible. Did you know that it doesn't make any sense to put every fucking thing in a market? We just don't need that. It's okay to admit that. To be a capitalist doesn't mean that you have to be like 100% always everything is capitalism. You ever heard about diversifying your portfolio? That involves economic systems. Healthcare, housing, education, food, water, sanitation, all free. Everything would be a lot better. Just a thought. Subscribe immediately, by the way.